Alright, let's see. Scylla, who won? Well, who won? Well, not Radley.
Not the guy who was not Radley won.
Yeah, that's. Oh, Bounded!
Oh,
It's Bounded!
okay.
My
Oh, sorry.
favorite.
It's
My
not.
favorite Terran.
It's because I said it wrong. It's not. It wasn't. It's not Kenji. It was Kaniji. Oh my
Yeah.
god. All right. So Kaniji, aka Bounded, will be the yellow Terran in the bottom left, and Flying, aka Fear the Queen, is going to be the brown Zerg in the top left.
I mean, dude, Kenichi is the guy who twice made my dreams come true by proving that I have an idea of what you could do in this game. So, I'm really rooting for the guy. Oh,
All right.
okay.
Well, hopefully he shows us something awesome this game. I believe it's the first TVZ of the day. So
Yeah.
that's nice. We're getting a nice balance of matchups. PVZ, PVT, some PV or TVZ going.
How do you actually say that correctly? Is it a TVZ or is it a ZVT? Like, how do you choose which one goes first?
That is an excellent question.
Because I like it almost always unanimously I've seen people say TVZ.
That's true. But wait, okay, what are other ones like PVT? You say PVT, right? You don't say TVP.
Yeah. And PVZ, I think, but because I'm Protoss, that's kind of like biased. But...
Yeah. That's an excellent question. But I mean, I do see both, though. I do see both. I guess in the context of, like, if someone makes, like, a strategy for one of the races, they say the race that they're making a strategy for first. You know? Like, if you're writing a Zerg guide for ZVP. But in general, I guess it's all on your racial bias. Dude, you just blew my mind. I'm gonna be thinking about this like all night tonight. I'm not gonna get any sleep.
And tomorrow, you know, you're gonna wake up like with your eyes bloodshot, and you're gonna be still thinking about it.
Dude, I'm just gonna go into work just muttering like Terrans, Zergs, who comes first?
And eventually you're gonna figure out it doesn't make any sense because it's like alphabetically correct. Like you started with the one that's like the first letter of the alphabet or something.
Oh my god, that would be so boring.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, let's see though. We have one Rex from to an expansion so far it seems, and the second SCV going to Scout is a pretty interesting thing. I actually like that quite a lot because you at this point you really want to know if you can expand or not. So as soon as the SCV sees the hatchery, there's the command center is planted. So far Bounded
pretty failed drone.
Although it would have get in anyway. Like you actually have to like if the SCV attacks it, you'd still have to let it in, right?
That's true, but he had specifically positioned it on the ramp to block. So I think if it had attacked it, he probably would have pulled a second drone to block, maybe. But uh-oh. Whoa, run! Run, drone! Run!
You think it's gonna get it?
Nah, it's unlikely. He's microing. Oh!
Oh.
The turnarounds kill.
That drone was like, ha, my friends got you, and now you know that's when they holding the guy, you know, the hero, and the bad guy shows up just to punch him once. That was it.
Nice, the sucker punch. Oh, we got a fast eBay, so we're gonna have some fast +1 here from Bounded. Also, because I know everyone is still curious, aka I'm still curious, Bakryu actually literally just made a game and tested the range of the bunker on Neo Medusa, and he tells us that the bunker cannot reach probes mining from the inner minerals that are closer to the nexus. So he could have kept mining from the inner minerals on his main.
You gotta love Bakryu for his like Bakryu is so on point on knowing everything about this. Dude, you have to find out a question that we can ask Bakryu that he doesn't know. Okay, that's the next thing we do. Like about crazy ideas like this, we have to figure out something that he can't know.
It's true. I gotta think about this.
All right.
What is that? What is that hitchhiker's thing? All right. What is the question? Like. To which the answer is 42. What is the question? Ah, it's like reverse Jeopardy.
But the problem with that is it has to be brutal related because otherwise it doesn't count because it's back yeah, it has to be brutal related, man. If besides people can just Google that, and they're gonna find it in 5 seconds. But if it's about brutal, I guarantee you Google is not gonna find that stuff.
It's true. It's true.
Okay.
All right.
Still one barracks. Okay. Okay, oh, there it goes. Yeah, I was kind of thinking because he did get the +1, he's getting stim extremely quickly. So, yeah, you need the barracks relatively fast to make up for, you know, the low production at the early stage of the game.
I'm interested that he's gone for a second fire bat here as well. Presumably, well, wait, he left the medic. Wait, what? What? Come back. Okay. So presumably he's gonna make the fire bat and the medic. So if there's some kind of weird circling backstab and he moves out with his first force, he can like block the ramp with the fire bat and the medic or something like that. Yeah. But actually, although if he moves out with this could also be a very interesting force. The thing I would have liked though is my original point was going to be I wish he'd made both medics before a fire bat. I actually thought he was going to do some kind of interesting fast attack by going for the second fire bat first, but he actually has just gone for the medic anyway, so could have gone for the medic earlier to save up more energy.
I do think that though, if you do make one fire bat relatively early, if it's like some kind of strange Zergling all in, you're kind of safer against it, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think that it's definitely better to get the medics first. That's definitely true. But if you're kind of like a little bit scared about it, you might want to start with a fire bat. Now it's 4. Oh, a Zergling gets in. Oh man.
This Marine control is also kind of dubious. Like there's 2 Marines that just ran in front of everybody for some reason. So I'm not sure like what's going on with the control groups here and why the Marines are together.
5 seconds.
See, this is actually really interesting because he saw 2 fire bats in this force, and that is not something you usually see this early. In fact, you don't usually see the fire bats at all. It's usually, just the Marines coming out at this point, and the fire bat comes out later and just goes to counter a third or whatever. But the fact that there's 2 fire bats walking here, I agree with the Zerg, is actually kind of scary, but that's a bit of an overreaction for sure.
I mean, it's weird because before he got his third, he started the Hydroden. He does have, like, what, 9 mutas, so it's not a small amount of mutas, but it's a good move overall. I do like Flying's position overall. I think he can actually get a lot done with these mutas, and even if he just annoys enough, he's gonna get the third relatively easily, so it's a good build by Bounded, but he's not really capitalizing on the fact that he has that +1.
Yeah, it's absolutely true. I mean, now that he's got... Oh, no. He's got for the 4 factories. Okay. Typically when you see... Well, I guess when you see fast +1, it can be 4 or 5. Sorry, not factories. Barracks, rather. So just, you know, only going for the 4, getting his tech up a little bit faster. But he should still have a decent number of these +1 Marines. And, oh, bit of micro error here.
Oh my god, already 3 mutas going down. That's really painful. Flying has to be extremely careful now because he really can't lose those mutas, or those Marines are going to be free to go all on the map and decide where to hit. You definitely can't lose those early mutas.
Yeah, it's a bit of a problem. However, his hive is already started, which is pretty nice here. Getting a really early timing on that hive. The third base, as you said, not yet finished. And
Lurker's also coming down. Like, I mean, the upgrade. So far, Flying, I think, is really, like, he's got a lead, that's clear, but at the same time, I think he's actually commanding the game how it should go.
Yeah, I mean, this is sort of what 3-act mutas is supposed to be. The mutas, yeah, they're doing some nice damage here, but they don't actually need to do much besides make the Terran not move out. I'm actually surprised how few SCVs there are here, and he's killing a lot of them as well. I don't know why. Wait a minute, the SCV saturation is horrendous. What the? He just hasn't been making SCVs at all. What the heck is going on here? Kaniji, man, come on.
He's at 28 SCVs.
It's not good.
And the Lurker's already coming up. The third is up. The hive is not done yet, but it's gonna be relatively. Although, to be fair, if this tank gets positioned correctly and it's defended well enough, he can actually break this before Lurkers come up.
Oh my god, they're about to pop. Like, he can go in. He's gonna go in.
Oh, don't attack with the Marines. You have to siege with the tank and try to break the Sunkens first. I mean, you definitely don't want to just run into that.
Yep, and a nice little intercept here by the Mutaling. Oh god, no, he's running the... No, the Marines!
Bounded, no! No. Oh,
whoops.
Bounded.
Whoopsie daisies. Oh, and now we have the flank. The surrounds. The Lurkers, the Lurkers are a little bit late, but it doesn't even really matter because the Marines are stuck.
And there are so many medics. Medics are keeping everything alive because there's nothing to keep alive.
Nice, just keeping each other alive. It's okay, the women and children escaped. And by children, I mean fire bats. It's like the same thing. I mean, if you think about it.
With fire, right? So.
Exactly, like only kids would do that, so. Fire bats just big, bearded, fiery children. And looks like another group of Marines has come out now. Looks like 1-1 is completed. But the Lurkers are coming out. That 1 armor actually is going to make a huge difference against Lurkers. That changes it from 2-shot to 3-shot for a Lurker to kill a Marine, which is actually quite important in the early game.
Unless they die when they are actually hitting, which then they do twice damage, right?
That's actually true. Oh my god, that random ticket. Whoa! That was an interesting attack! Okay.
What was that?
Okay. That's cool. You can do that. Alright, I'm not gonna judge you. Much. And now the vessel comes in, he's like, hey guys, what's up? I'm here. We can attack now, we can kill the Lurkers, it's fine, I'm here. Oh, they're all dead? What?
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, he did need that, right? If he didn't have the vessel, he would actually have to scan. And just like 2 seconds of a delay could mean that that would actually kill everything, so... Okay, so... Hold on a second. The defilement mount is done, but consume is not. There are no lurkers. We only have zerglings.
We have a nice lurker intercept, though, on these Marines, although nice reaction as well from Bounded to take those down.
I think... Oh, no. The vessel.
Hey...
Oh, consume is about to be finished. Just a few seconds more, but maybe there won't be any seconds because the attack is coming and the firebat can still deal damage under swarm. So, is this actually gonna work? I think it's gonna be so damn close. Like, yeah, there is the consume.
And there's the lurkers from the third base, and we are alive.
But you still can shoot at the hatchery, right?
That's true, but another swarm's gonna allow the lurkers to push up, and that's gonna be that.
Yeah, okay, so that, with this broken, I think that actually flying is taking back the game, because usually the turn in this position should be like at twice the supply of the Zerg, and the Zerg should barely be holding on, but trying to get really good trades. But in this situation, I don't think that flying is really bad in a bad position.
You don't think he's really bad?
Yeah, I think...
Nice. Yeah, I know. It's just a funny way that you word it. Alright, I know what you mean, man. It's alright, I got you. So, nice emergency lurkers coming from the third here are barely going to save him. This is what ZVT is all about nowadays, is that split, second timing where you need that consume to come out. And now we're going to see the mech switch here from Kaniji. He did do that before, very, very early mech switch. You can see he doesn't even have a third command center started yet. He's got an SCV going down there. He's floating 1,500 minerals, but, we're going to have to see how this works out against flying. Basically, what flying should try and do is keep some units out on the map to prevent the vultures from laying mines too far forward, because Bounded is doing this without complete map control. I mean, he's got some map presence still. The Zerg can't move out too far without his swarms, but he doesn't have a perfect position yet. And so you see the Zerg can already set up for his fourth.
I mean, this is weird because Flying could have taken that fourth quite a long time ago. He was kind of under pressure, so he didn't. But Bounded is taking 2 more bases now, and again, that's like so many command centers as pretty much barracks, and there are less factories than command centers. So, I don't know. Weird. Definitely, it can work. I just don't know if it's gonna get that long, because Flying is still pushing relatively aggressively, trying to move down to the turn base.
See, I was going to say it's sort of the classic, I spent too long microing my 2-base force, and now I have too many minerals, so I'm going to build 2 command centers. But Kaniji's done this like in 2 or 3 other games before that we casted, so maybe this is actually his thing. Maybe this is his build that is just a double expand after your initial attack and go for a mech switch, which is incredibly risky if the Zerg just attacks you with any kind of decent force. But I mean, it's working for him.
See, although I mean, yeah, I agree definitely that it can work. It's not a bad idea if you get to that point. The thing that I don't is that he's gonna be focusing some of his economy probably into those new command centers, and he really needs that right now to make more factories.
That is very true. I mean, even with the command centers, the saturation is going to be quite poor. Look at all these fire bats though on the map. That is a ridiculous amount of fire bats. I mean, to be fair, fire bats do still do damage under swarm. They do their splash damage, so you know why not? It's just very interesting to see.
And they do have an extra +1 armor, which I mean, it can help a lot against the Zergs mostly, because not that much against the Lurkers. But it definitely helps against the Zerglings, and there's still no upgrades like for the Zerglings, so...
Yeah. Oh man, Firebat Vulture, it's the TVZ of the future. It's amazing. It's good against Zerglings. And that's it. But, hey man, if you're up against Oxzerg, that's all you need. That's all you need, you know? Firebat Vulture is the new thing. So... there you go. I mean, Cracklings are the OP unit, right? Oh, and we have Overlord drop researching, by the way, so we could see some interesting drops at some point.
Yeah, I mean, I do have to say that I feel that you would want to be starting to do some drops to the Terran, because you don't want to allow the Zerg to just happily mine on 4 bases. It's even if you do get as many bases as the Zerg at this point, because of Swarm, I don't know, it's kind of tricky. Although, Flying isn't really mining at his natural, like, pretty much at all, and his 4th isn't saturated too well either, so far it's not really that big of a deal.
But, I mean, to be fair, he has actually got better map control than I expected he'd have. If you look at the mini-map, the Zerg is just chilling in his bases. He's getting a 12 o'clock, but he's just let the Terran take that double expansion completely safely, and he's just laying mines around the map as well. It's like just having some small skirmishes around the map. So it looks like it's actually working out pretty well here for Bounded. Interesting to see how the late game goes. He has started to add some factories at the bottom right.
Yeah, I mean, definitely at this point you really, I think at least, you really want to get like an extra starport and make clouds of vessels. Because it's really annoying for the Zerg to keep losing the filers because they are so gas heavy. And even if you do get Scourges and you get a good hit from time to time, you're still most likely going to be losing some units to the Irradiates.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. Although I guess you have to be careful because, you know, if you have to build tanks and Goliaths and vessels, it does take quite a bit of gas. But, I mean, he doesn't actually have that many factories still. Only 5 factories in the main, 1 in his bottom right base. But that's 4 bases for only 6 factories. It's not quite enough.
And he's making another command center.
What? Oh my god, he is. I mean, he's got minerals to spare, so why not? He's got map control. He's just running around wherever he wants. I'm waiting to see Flying make an attack. I guess his first big attack... oh, it's coming now. It's going to be a drop in the main. That could actually be really effective because the main Terran army is all the way across the map.
And
oh
the
god.
two defenders as well, so they're going to be uncontested if you don't have vessels.
Oh god. What are you doing? Unload, man! What are you doing?
Well, he gets the defilers there, so...
In the meantime, Lurkers, though, fighting against Firebats at the front. The Firebats getting massacred, but they do take down some Lurkers with them. But the main base is just getting obliterated right now. A few tanks coming back, but a few tanks is going to do nothing with the Dark Swarm here. And the Dark Swarm holding the main force at the front as well. So now Bounded in quite a bit of trouble. He's trying to run back up the ramp here, but the Zerglings running amok. He's actually going to stop the upgrades. If he can get both armies, that's going to be absolutely huge. He should just focus the armories.
Yeah, and he's going to get them. With Cracklings, he's going to get them. Although, I have to say, Bounded is probably like saying, wow, I have enough bases, right?
But he's going to lose all his factories, though, and that was the 2-2 upgrade that was stopped as well.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, it's very difficult to play mech against Zerg, because you're slower most of the time, and only the vultures are fast enough, so it is annoying to play mech, at least, if you... unless you can really contain the Zerg, it's actually quite tricky, I think.
Yeah, this is, I mean, this is one huge hole in the build, though, is that you're so vulnerable to these drops. Yeah, you've got ground map control, but when you're being so aggressive... The one thing actually I'm a bit confused about, I thought he had gone for a lot more vultures. It looks like he maybe, because he didn't have enough factories, he stopped making vultures and made a lot more tanks. which obviously a lot slower to respond. But could you imagine if he had like a full control group of vultures that could just very quickly run back and support those 4 tanks that were there? It probably would have, you know, caused us to do a lot more, or sorry, a lot less damage rather.
Yeah, and I have to say though that I was really surprised that when that drop happened, Flying was trying to go for the factories. I would definitely think it's better to destroy all the depots.
Yeah, I would probably agree with you there. It looks like he was just trying to avoid the turrets, and he just dropped really far down, and then just sort of forgot about it, didn't really pay attention, just swarmed a couple of times, and that was it. So not the best thing in the world, but still a very effective drop. I mean, Terran is down to just 3 factories in the main now, rebuilding 1 now. His command center might even burn down if he doesn't pay attention. Oh, never mind, there he goes, fixing it.
He's rebuilding though factories even at his last bases, like the bottom right. So he can definitely, like, it's gonna be a bit more even tricky to produce because now you have 2 locations where you have to go to make units. But
and now we have 6 defilers at the natural just wiggling their tails. Wait a minute, why do defilers move? Well, oh, hold that thought, there's some Zerglings still dropping. But are defilers the only unit that move when they're not actually doing anything? Look at this, see, the Ultralisk isn't moving. The drone isn't moving.
Dude,
defilers are wiggling.
They're not actually moving. They're maintaining because they're flying. Since, you know, they're trying to fly but it's not working, so keep moving.
I just noticed that though. Is there any other unit in the game that actually moves while stationary?
Well, the Mutalisk, but they have to keep like in the
air. Okay. They actually have to flap their wings though. That makes sense. Anyway.
Okay. So definitely it's going to be really tricky right now for Bounded because with Ultras and good upgrades and this amount of expansions, at some point you can just start spamming units and sending them everywhere to basically make the Terran make mistakes.
Oh god, another drop kills 11 SCVs on that lurker at the bottom right, which is really good. And it's even going to go down here to the middle line here. 2 tanks are following this to try and take it down, but I don't think there's any vision. Oh, never mind. I was going to say there's no detection here, but it drops it too close to the tanks and gets taken down. But really nice just harass tactics from the Zerg, although he has actually managed to supply block himself. At 172 though, he's actually got a supply lead. And he's got cows.
Yeah. Oof, I don't know, because the problem is Bounded actually has a decent army. The problem is he is all around the place. He has only small packs of units everywhere. And if he doesn't do any damage, if he keeps like staying at his base, just trying to defend them, eventually the Zerg is just gonna crush him. And Flying is still getting drops. Like in his natural, he's loading everything up to try to make another drop. So
it's interesting because Terran has not dropped at all this game, has he? Like Zerg's economy has been completely untouched, and Flying could potentially win without ever attacking on the ground. He could just drop the Terran to death, which would be hilarious. He might actually do that. Look at this. Doom drop going into the main, and at the same time, a drop going into the bottom right base as well. He's just bypassing. No! He's going to drop directly on top of the tanks, but where is the Dark Swarm, though? Looks like actually there was no Defiler here, but he's going to kill so many tanks with these Cracklings, and the main force with the cows is inside the Terran's main base here. There's a Dark Swarm. It doesn't even matter. The Overlords are going to die, but he doesn't care. He supply blocked himself, but he's got a 184 supply, and he's just running amok in the Terran's base. There's someone radiates, but that doesn't even matter.
And a random plague gets 2 vessels and an Ultra.
2 Ultra. Oh no, it gets the Defiler itself as well. He played himself.
Yeah. And again, the swarm on the ramp, but actually there's nothing there, so tanks can still sort of. But the problem is now with all the depots lost, if you try to rebuild the depots, you're gonna burn your entire bank as the Terran right now.
Yep, down to 155 out of 98. The Zerg's still going here, still gonna get more of these depots at the bottom left. And I think this might have been a game won purely through drops. Really well played by Flying. You know what? It actually makes sense now, though, because his idea is flying, right? He won on the air, never attacked on the ground. It's kind of like how when Yellow 2-base Lurker dropped Bisu in that Air Force Ace match. Everyone was like, oh my god, it's because he's in the Air Force. Get it? He dropped. He's in the Air Force.
Yeah, and the funny thing is that Bisu knew exactly what was going on. And he was holding for like so long, and then suddenly like 10 units show up.
Yep. He finishes it with the actual Air Force. Beautiful.
And another drop!
Hey!
Although this one is, I think, spotted by the SCV who's potentially
Dude.
trying to take another base.
Dude, there's a burrowed Zergling there. He got burrow at some point. What the heck?
Oh.
Dropu! Yashimo! And another drop at the bottom right.
Well, flying definitely showing how to beat a Terran who's playing mech defensively.
Wow. Really well played by flying. I mean, he's got this in the bag at this point.
Yeah. The funny thing is that Bounded, when he's actually starting to lose things, is starting to move out. Like, at this point, you should probably try to... He's got 5,000 minerals! Oh, man.
5K, 4K, GG!
The bank GG.
Oh my goodness.
Well, at least he died rich.
The thing is, you can't even fault him that much because, I mean, yes, maybe it was slightly poor macro in the beginning, but once you lose all your depots and, you know, some factories, it's like you can't even spend all your money anymore because he got down to like 3 factories at some point after the drop. So what is he even supposed to do? Like, he can't macro.
I mean, in a way, it's kind of, if you're going for this kind of mech switch, you in theory are constantly building vultures and trying to harass with them, like picking off a defiler here, trying to get some drone kills, maybe even making a drop, something like that, and then flying with a lot of vessels. But he was, I think, a little bit too passive, and because of that, there was a lot of possibilities for flying to just decide how he wants to approach it.
It's really interesting, though, because that passive style, I think, worked for him the last time we casted him in one of the long games. He could just like starve out the Zerg. But that's because like we see so many times Zergs very stubbornly just keep trying to attack on the ground. You know, they're like, okay, I'll run Zerglings through the mines, and then I'll send out Ultralists and Lurkers and attack him on the ground and like try and wear him down. And Flying's like, you know what? You can mine the middle of the map. You can have map control. I don't care because you can't attack my bases because of Dark Swarm. So I'll just keep dropping you. I'll just completely bypass the mines.
Yeah, although, to be fair, that usually doesn't work at all if you have a cloud of vessels, because you just start irradiating all the overlords, and suddenly the Zerg loses like 200, like, I don't know, 110 supply. But, yeah, it's tricky anyway. Like, it's not easy to play that kind of style and then have so many bases and at the same time be aggressive. So a lot of things to do at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's good thinking. It's good. It actually reminds me of one of the Day 9 dailies, where Day 9 sort of talks about the concept of, you know, instead of trying, oh man, I can't remember exactly what it was, but, you know, it was basically instead of trying to like directly counter his strategy, you can just, sidestep it. That's what it was. It was a podcast about sidestepping. You sidestep the strategy. It's like, you got mines all over the map? Okay, I'm not going to be fancy and like run Zerglings. I'll sidestep it. I'll do something completely different. I'll avoid the mines entirely. That type of thing. Anyway. All right. Looks like we are going to go on to the next game in the series.
All right.
Keniji versus Fear the Queen. Let us see if Keniji will adjust his strategy to take into account that there's going to be some flying shenanigans coming at him.
Okay, Neo Medusa.
Oh yeah, TBZ on Medusa.
Alright, now, Bounded, Neo Medusa might be a bit tricky for him, I think. Because even on, like, Fighting Spirit is, like, the most standard map, and he had some problems trying to, like, expand there, everything. So, Neo Medusa is a lot trickier.
Yeah.
Wait,
hold on, let me think. Like, if you were to try and play Keniji's style, would that even be possible on Medusa? Because...
No. I don't think so. Especially because when you try to take the double expansion that he did, where do you actually take it? Because you take your mineral only, which doesn't have any gas, and then the next one is in a kind of weird position. I don't know.
Well, whatever. Let's just find out.
Yeah.
Go into the game. Whatever.